Hey everybody. So I decided to go live a few minutes early because I'm gonna play around with this thing here. If you guys, well, first of all, hello and happy new year. How is everybody doing? I hope everybody's new year was great and perfect and safe and fun and maybe peaceful, all of the things that you wanted for the new year, right? So because it's been such a crazy year to begin with, so I'm sure bringing it in a calm way was probably the best way, right? We didn't have much option this year anyway because of what's going on in the state of the world. So, but usually that's the way I ring in my new year. I don't party anymore, and I never really did. I think I partied maybe once or twice in my in my life. I always wanted to be with family for New Year's for some reason. That was kind of always my thing. I didn't want to be out there, even when I was younger. Even my party days, I didn't want to be out there at the club partying or anything. Plus, crowds too much, all that stuff. So, welcome to 2021. We are entering in a new phase of humanity, really, to be that bold and that blunt. We are entering into this new phase of um, work, right? This is work. I did a Facebook Live. I do a Facebook Live in my Divine Rebels Sisterhood group every Monday. And I think last Monday I was talking about how, not to scare people, but how 2020 and the years before it has been kind of our training camp. And now 2021, and for the next 4 or 5 years, we're going to be putting into action what we've been training for. And a lot of us have been training for this even before this lifetime. So things always get a little bit more challenging before they get better. So we can breathe a little bit more, but it's also time to just be in the space and to really connect with yourself and to connect with one another. So I wanted to talk about what 2020 has taught me. And I want to talk about it's taught me so much, but I have three big takeaways of 2020. Um, and the first one is really the tools for healing. And this I've always said to my clients, but the tools for healing are within and around us, right? So one of the things that we all had to do, we all had to kind of stop and pause, right? We were forced to, not it wasn't like, oh, just gonna pause. We live in a society that is so fast paced and so go 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 all the time that, and we were ruining ourselves. We were literally burning the planet. We were literally and I'm not saying literally like the 20 something year olds that stay literally to everything. I mean literally the planet was burning. Literally it was flooding and things, caps are melting and all these things because we are consuming so much and doing so much and go go go, and it just, in that space of being so mindless in our state of being, that I truly believe, and I said this from the beginning, that this was sent to us to slow us down and say, stop, look, and listen, and stop, look, and listen to what's going on around you, but stop, look, and listen to what is going on within you too. I know for me, the biggest thing was to really go inward and really figure out what it is I want to do and who I want to be. Like I've known who I want to be, but like, who do I really want to be? Do I want to be a person who is always comparing herself to others? Do I want to be a person who or do I want to be a person who doesn't care and wants to do what I do because it's what I'm meant to do. It's because it's my calling, not because somebody else is making six figures doing it or somebody else has all the, 10K followers on Instagram doing it. So I had to really slow myself down. I really got wrapped up when I started expanding my business. I really got wrapped up in the marketing thing. And you really have to balance that out, right? Because you have to market your business. And nowadays, especially with pandemics and all of that stuff, nowadays it's through this platform, through social media. And when you go, lo and behold, when you go to school to be a therapist, they don't teach you anything about business, number one. And number two, they really don't teach you anything about marketing, just in the regular way of marketing. And number three, they really don't teach you how to do any of the technological marketing type of stuff. That's all new. And me about to turn 44 on Friday, my birthday's Friday, yay. Um, Technology is not my strong suit. It really isn't. This type of technology with social media and all that stuff was not my strong suit. So I really took time to pause and really figure out what it is that I want to do. I know all these things work, right? But the voice that I kept hearing, or my, what my guides kept saying is, do it the way that you do it. And of course, it has to have a little bit of the flavor that is with the modern way, right? But it's, do it, be unique to you. So that is takeaway number one for me, was be your unique self and don't worry about what anyone else is doing, how they're doing it, or if they're even doing the same thing as you. There is room for everything and everyone, and you are not for everyone or everything. And, so it's about knowing that abundance is out there, and if you just stay true to yourself, that things will happen the way they're supposed to. Takeaway number two in relation to that was really grounding myself in my heart center. And we're going to do a little bit of that soul inquiry in a few minutes. Kicking off this 2021 Soul SiStar Light Up, I have some really good guests lined up. But a lot of the messages that we're talking about is getting back to heart center and getting back to Mother Earth. So some of you may have heard me talk about the word that I will pick a word every single year instead of doing a resolution. And the word that came to me for this year is healing. And what I do with that word is I try to live it and embody it as much as I possibly can throughout the year, instead of, picking all these resolutions that I usually fail at. So healing in all aspects of the word, with myself, with helping others, with, healing ancestral wounds and helping others do the same. That is what my word for this year is. So what has really gotten me to that point is really connecting inward towards with myself and my heart, and in turn connecting with the earth too, Mother Earth, and the medicine that she has to give. um at the beginning of this year, I started my Shamanic Reiki master teacher program, and no, it couldn't have been more aligned. The pandemic, doing that Shamanic Reiki, it really, I wrote a review for the program, and it really did save my life. I don't know if I would have been able to be as calm and as and don't get me wrong, I had my moments. I had my moments during this whole pandemic, the really beginning of it, right? I mean, we're in the second stages of it and we're kind of used to it. Let me put air quotes, which is sad, but I had my moments, but I don't think I could have maintained the stillness and the calmness that I did throughout this year without having those practices. So going inward was one of the practices, being heart centered, and really not just meditating and being heart centered, but trying to be heart centered in my interactions throughout the day. Hard, super hard, because the hardest place that I have, the hardest time that I have doing that, or the hardest place and time that I have doing that is really in the car. And I don't have road rage like I used to, but being heart-centered is very difficult because you have to be able to do that even in the toughest moments, right? It's not just about being heart-centered with the people that you care about, because that's easy. You can be heart-centered with the people that you love and the people that you enjoy. But being heart-centered, and also being heart-centered in times of feeling lonely and times of feeling like people aren't in your corner, and not being angry at them because they may have things going on, right? And just trying to refocus in on being loving and caring and kind first and foremost to yourself, and then to others as well. So I just became a board member for Copper Beach Institute, and I'm very excited about that because I think it's just a great place for mindfulness and meditation. So if you guys aren't familiar, it's a place here in Connecticut for mindfulness and meditation. And Brandon Nappy is the founder and CEO of it's a retreat center, but now since in-person retreats can't be done, they have a lot of really good online things that you can do, online programs on mindfulness. You can get a certification in mindfulness. You can do they every day, in the morning and in the afternoon, midday, they have meditations that you can participate in, donation based, and some are free. So you should check them out. It's Copper Beach, BEECH, .org, I think. So it or .com, I'm sorry. And you can check them out. They have a lot of really cool things. So, but with that also, how things align, being part of that organization now is even centering me even more with my group, Divine Rebel Sisterhood. I've done what they call metta meditation, or loving kindness meditation, which is extending loving kindness to yourself, which is usually statements like may I be at peace, may I be filled with loving kindness, to yourself, then to a person you love, then to someone who you're kind of close to but not really, or may know or may not know, and then someone who's a little bit more difficult to give love to, and then someone who's really hard to give love to. So really expanding, giving myself, centering myself into my heart center every single day as much as I possibly can, and then trying to expand out to others as well. But first and foremost, making sure that I'm receiving that from, and that I'm giving that to myself. So that's takeaway number two. Takeaway number three is that we can do hard things. And that wasn't a show that I saw, and I don't know which show, a show or a movie, and I don't remember what it is because I watch things and, sometimes I binge watch and I meld it all together. But we can do hard things. And the word we is operative here, right? So we can no longer be separate, right? So what this pandemic, or this time, this 2020, showed us is that we the more separate that we are physically, the more that we can connect energetically, right? So sometimes we take advantage. Like, have you seen people at a restaurant, when we used to be able to do those things, sitting at a table and they're all kind of just on their phones, not really connecting, right? So those were the times when we could actually get together and people weren't connecting. Now we can't get together and all people want to do is connect. I've heard so many people say that they miss hugs, right? Because even though you can see people 6 feet apart, blah blah blah, whatever, it's still the whole, not to touch them, not, this kind of thing, right? So like even for Chris, when I've gotten together in small gatherings with my family, we're Puerto Rican, we hug and kiss, that's what we do, and we can't do that. So even when we're in the same space, it's hard for that human contact, but we can do hard things. We can get through these moments, and we've gotten through these moments because I feel like people have gotten closer together. I know for sure that I've been more in tune with a lot of the online groups that I belong to, and I've made some really great connections and really great friends there, and really felt during this holiday season felt close to people, even though we weren't together, and we weren't in the same space. But those connections seem to be, in a weird way, seem to be stronger, even though it's connecting in this medium. So we can do hard things, and we as a collective need to be able to join in together to do these hard things. Things will get harder, and we need to come together. Even though the world looks so separate right now, and it does still feel separate. This is the time when we can do the hardest things and have these conversations and have these hard conversations, and try to let go of some of the anger and really just come together as a collective, as one. you know um the sum is only as good the whole is only as good as the sum of its parts, and if we are not being good to ourselves individually, and then being good to others, and then coming together, things are not going to get better. So we really have to think about that. We can do hard things, so just remember that. So those were my, takeaways for 2021, the main ones, right? There were so many others, so many other takeaways. Really, my connection to shamanic practices. I by no means am I a shaman in any way, shape, or form, and I would never claim that. That is a birthright, and also a lifelong training um, training thing. But I doing it and engaging in shamanic practices has really helped me connect so much more to everything. The other day I was driving, sometimes that's what I've been doing with this whole thing. When I've been in the house for too long, I went for a drive, and on a lake I saw two swans, and then I saw an eagle, and I was like, oh my god, this was on New Year's Day, which for me, and this was after I did my whole 12-month card pull, which was immensely about being authentically myself, being uniquely myself, and letting my gifts unfurl, and not being scared to put myself out there. Like, I've stepped out of the spiritual closet, but I don't think I've fully stepped out of the spiritual closet. That's why I wanted to come on today to do the Soul Sister Light Up kickoff and talk a little bit about what I've experienced through this time. But also, if you guys are out there and you would like a reading, then I will do that. But I'm going to pull a card anyways. And if you don't sign into StreamYard, I think I was saying that earlier. If you don't sign into StreamYard, I won't be able to see your comments. So, I'm not sure. I'm just trying to see if there's a way that I can give you guys the link to sign into this. Usually it has it on the post, but I'm not seeing it here. But I'm trying to see if I can find it on Facebook to see if I could see your if anybody's making any comments on here. So I'm not seeing it. Okay. Well, how about this? I am going to try to just, yeah, I'm not seeing it on Facebook. I don't know what's going on here. All right. Well, anyways, the plan for before I do card pulls, because I have faith that I'm gonna find something or that somebody's gonna sign in or whatever. Um, I want to talk a little bit about what is happening in 2021. So, some of you guys probably have seen my post. My friend Liz Sorelli and I are going to be running a women's circle. I am super. Oh, hey, Kim, how? um, I'm here, but need to sign into Streamyard. No, I can see your comments. So let me see. So Kim is here. That's Kim right there. Um, so I don't know how you did that, but that's perfect. So maybe other people can comment if they want to, and then I can see it. So January 29th, my friend Liz Sorelli and I are going to be doing a woman's soul inquiry circle. So a little bit of what I'm going to do here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 3 questions, but we're going to do one. Just for time's sake. But we're going to be, it's not just soul inquiry, we're going to be doing meditation, we're going to be doing journaling, I'm going to be doing some sound healing, some shamanic practices. So we are going to be engaging, we're going to be getting together every other Friday starting January 29th from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And it's going to be a time for you to just reflect on the things that you want to reflect on this year. Really go into yourself, really connect with your highest self to figure out whatever questions you may need to figure out, if it's work related, if it's romance related, if it's parenting related, whatever it is, whatever you need help and guidance on, whatever your soul is nudging you towards, and it's hard for you to connect with that, join our group, because that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to be helping each other navigate, what the next steps are in our daily life and our daily functioning. And there's nothing better than having community with women and with like-minded women. And that's definitely one of the things that I've learned in 2020. In 2019, I just made such great connections with so many women in different conferences and my retreats, when I was able to do retreats. So being in circle with women is the most powerful form of supporting yourself, of really going inward, of really reconnecting with that magic and that divinity that we have within ourselves. So that's January 29th. I will post the link in the comments of this video. But you can go on my page and you'll see Liz Sorelli also has it on her page. So I'm so excited and I can't wait to see you guys there. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kim. So that's starting January 29th. Also, I will be launching a summit, which is coming up probably in March. I keep moving it back just because there's things getting in the way. But it's going to be a Heal Thyself Summit. It's going to be maybe 10 to 11 healers teaching you a tool that you can help you can work with yourself so that you can be able to, you know do as much healing for yourself as possible. Like, we all need help, outside help, but we also have our internal tools, and my goal with my clients is to help them find their inner tools. I always want to have a relationship with my clients, but I don't want to be a need in their life forever. I want them to be able to take what they learn and what they dig up within themselves and really use that on their own. And then if they want to come back later on, then that's great. And I have clients that do that all the time. We work together for a while and then they leave and then they come back, or whatever. It's that's what I like to see, and that's the relationship and the healing relationship that I like to create with my clients, and that I like them to create with themselves. So the summit will be coming up soon. You'll be seeing some of those advertisements coming up. um, I am also launching a course, and you'll get more information on that. That'll be closer to the middle, to the summertime. And hopefully, with everything we'll see how COVID and all that stuff goes, but hopefully there'll be some live retreats. If not, I'll be considering an online retreat. And I know that it doesn't seem like the same thing, but online retreats are just as effective as in-person retreats, even though my first love is definitely in-person retreats. So, all right. So with that, um, we're going to settle in. If you want to just kind of get comfortable in your seat, and we're going to do a little bit of a soul inquiry. And I'm going to put let's see. All right. So let's see. All right. Okay. So just get comfortable in your seat. And if you're laying down, you can lie down or you can sit down and just lay back in your chair and start to focus in on your breath. Really start to feel your body sitting in the chair or laying wherever you're laying, sitting wherever you're sitting. Start to be conscious of the chair or couch that's holding your body. Focusing in on your breath and not forcing it to slow down, just naturally slowing the rhythm of your breath. It helps if you breathe in through your nose and exhale through your mouth with a sigh. We're going to take 3 intentional breaths. Take 1 deep breath in. Exhale with a sigh. On your second breath, I want you to direct your breathing right into your heart center. If it helps, place a hand or both hands right on your heart center. And as you breathe in, just imagine the breath going right into this space and swirling around clockwise and filling your heart with love and abundance. Feeling yourself right in your heart center, just anchoring in. Taking a deep breath in and exhale with a sigh. And we're going to take our third expansive, nurturing breath in. Exhaling with a sigh. Relaxing your body even further. Breathing and concentrating. And when you feel like you found that perfect center and you feel like your body is fully relaxed, you can either say it out loud or say it in your head. Just ask yourself, what does my soul want me to do, want me to know today? Just keep asking yourself that question. What does my soul want me to know today? And listen. What does my soul want me to know today? And just keep listening for the answer. There may be multiple answers, but there may be one answer that really, really sticks out and just gets louder and louder and louder. What does my soul want me to know today? Taking a deep breath in, exhaling with a sigh, connecting back with yourself in this room. You may want to take a few seconds just to jot down some thoughts. Now, this is a really good way to just really go inward for yourself. It's really just those 3 magic breaths that I got from Megan Watterson in her soul inquiry meditation. Many meditation teachers do it that way. Some do a little bit longer breaths or a little bit longer preparation, whatever feels right to you, however long you need to take to be centered, right? That's what you want to feel. You want to feel this centeredness in here. You want to feel grounded at your root, in your tailbone. You want to at your feet. You just want to feel connected in that way. And when you feel and see, maybe in your mind's eye, this kind of rod of beautiful white light or green healing light, just kind of erecting your spine and your chakras and all connected, that's when you want to ask the soul inquiry question. And that's not the only question you can ask. There's two others that there's many others, but for it to start off the year for activation, another one that you can journal about, you can do the meditation and then you can write on top of a page in your journal, I am grateful for receiving dot dot dot. I am grateful for receiving blank, right? And then you just make a list of all the things that you're grateful for receiving. These are things that you could have already received, or things that you want to receive, or things that you know you will receive, or things that you are willing to receive, right? Because sometimes we want something, but we're not willing to receive it. We may want love, but we're not necessarily willing to receive, and that's why we're not getting it. So, checking in on what you are willing to receive, and making that list. Another soul inquiry that you can do is really good for this 2021 New Year activation is I am letting go of dot 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 blank. I'm letting go of. What are you letting go of? Are you letting go of fear? Are you letting go of um the thinking in lack? Are you letting go of doubting yourself? Are you letting go of being judgmental towards others? What is it that you are letting go, from 2020 to now to this year? What is it that you're willing to release? I find, and that's another thing, another takeaway, that I got from 2020 is that the process of letting go is ongoing. Even if you're like I've been releasing fear for a very very long time, and it's almost completely gone. It's almost there, but and I'm actually, thanks to my friend Coral, Scarlett Newberry. She's awesome and amazing. She started a Course in Miracles group. So A Course in Miracles is a book, and I'll show you. Oh, where is it? Many of my spiritual teachers, this is A Course in Miracles. So many of my spiritual teachers have done this book, or it's pretty thick because it's the actual book, the workbook for the teacher manual and all this stuff, right? So it's all of it. This was a channel text, and it's heavy, and it's Bible-like, but not really. It's a very interesting text, and I bought this probably 5 or 6 years ago, and I'm just able to digest it because of all of the things that I've been working through, all of the things that I've done. I've sat many, many times and tried to read it, and it's, like I said, a heavy book. But now this group has started. Marianne Williamson is also a person who has really simplified this book for many people, and she's running the course for the whole year. So the workbook has one exercise that you do for every single day of the year. Um, so it's I don't know why I started talking about this. I kind of lost my train of thought, but just the work, that has been done, right? We are always a work in progress. We are always growing. We are always learning. And it's not easy. So if you can learn to be patient with yourself, and if you can learn to give yourself grace and know that, just because you read a book like this, or I keep dropping the bookmark, a book like this, or any spiritual book, or any self-help book, or any whatever, doesn't mean that I should be done. I should be past my trauma. I should be doing the things that I should be better. No, it doesn't work like that. We are a work in progress, and the more that we commit to our healing, the more we are going to heal, right? And that takes effort from outside sources like a therapist or a coach or whatever, and also takes efforts from you on a daily basis. So I'm excited that you guys are here. So Soul SiStar Light Up, talk a little bit about that. I have a good lineup. So this month I'm actually I try to do it every other Sunday, but I'm actually doing it every Sunday this month. And I have two guys as my first guest for the year. One is a therapist. Well, they're both therapists, but one is he we're kindred spirits because his group is called the Rebel Therapists. And he's an out of the box therapist, just like I am. So I'm really, really excited to have him on, have both of these guys on. And then at the end of the month, I'm super excited. I'm going to have an herbalist on, and she is amazing. And she and her wife have started a business, an apothecary, and she teaches courses on herbalism and she sells products, and she's awesome. I can't wait to have her on. So that's going to be exciting for Soul SiStar Light Up. So many, many things to come. So now I am going to, if anybody can type in, let me see, because I see Kim's comments, but I don't see, let me see. I see Kim's comments, but I'm not seeing anybody else's comments. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, I'm not sure. All right. Well, anyways, what I'm going to do, since I know Kim is on here, um I'm going to pull a card for Kim, and then I'm just going to pull a card collectively for everyone. That's what I usually do on Mondays in my Divine Rebels Sister Hood group. So please join me there. That group, I will be doing a lot more things in that group, and eventually towards the end of the year, maybe starting a membership where there'll be some really interesting goodies and all kinds of healing tools for everyone. So, all right, so here I am going to use one of my most favorite decks. It's the Sacred Destiny Oracles deck, and it's by Denise Lynn. I have many, many decks, not as many as my beautiful friend Karen. You know who you are. But I have many, many decks, and I have to put a stop on myself sometimes. But I do have my favorite decks, and Sacred Destiny Oracle is definitely one of my faves. So yeah, so here we are. So Kim, if you have a specific question or anything, let me see. Okay. Um, I'm just gonna see what comes out. You all right? Down for that? Let's see. Mm, all right. Okay. So let's see. Purity. Look at that. Hopefully, let me see. These stupid. Okay, purity. Look at that beautiful, wonderful picture. Now that wolf has a blue eye and a green eye. It's a snowy wolf. Purity, right? We think of purity in the snow, that beautiful fresh fall of snow. Trusting in the fact that what you've experienced in life and what you've experienced most recently is a purification of some kind, right? So this is something where you've felt, and I'll try not to get too personal here, but we can do this offline, something where you've felt there was a sense of uncleanliness, but that's not it. That's not what this is saying to you. So the purity card is being pulled because what you have done in finding out the information that has been found out, you've provided yourself purity, you've purified your soul, and you've cut out a lot of family ancestral lineage, baggage, dirt, whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, and that's been canceled out. Now the next generation does not have to carry those burdens or that baggage or that dirt with them. So knowing that this has been a cleansing and a purifying experience for you, and not something to be ashamed of or to be sad about, because it happened exactly the way it was supposed to happen. um so that's what I'm getting in that regard to that purity card. So I'm just going to pull. Good, I'm glad that resonated. So I'm just going to pull, let me see something. Let's see what I see here. I don't know how you got on, and well, I'm just gonna pull a card for the collective. How about that? Um, all right. So let's see. Let's pull one last card. And just so you know, I do offer these. Um, I do offer your first session, a mini session for free. If you wanted to just do that, you can contact me. Um, I started to do this a very long time ago. I know people are like, when did you start doing this? Because nobody's ever seen me do it. So here I am stepping fully out of my spiritual closet. Only the women in my group have seen me do this, and my other mystic, witchy, beautiful friends that have encouraged this, that also do it themselves. So it is not the devil's work. It is all about intention. It is all about where you are coming from. And if, as long as you are working in love and light and with God and or spirit, the highest power, whatever you want to call it, God, spirit, universal consciousness, whatever it is, as long as you're working in that space, that's what matters. So this is definitely not something that is evil. Even I'm starting to learn. Always used to be scared of tarot, tarot, however you say it. I was always scared of that because it was always taught that that's the devil's work. And yes, any tool, even the Bible, can be used to do the devil's work. And as we know, many times it has. Um, if you saw one picture with a certain president holding up a Bible, I'm just saying. Anyways, not to get political, but that is, any tool can be used to do the devil's work, but also it can always and will always be used for good. The only tool that I will say that I don't think could ever be used for good, and I will never touch it ever again because I did when I was younger, is the Ouija board. The Ouija board has never ever brought anything of love and light through it. So that to me is definitely a tool, a divinity tool that works in the lower realms, and in a lower vibration. So that definitely is not a tool that I think could be used for good because it fools a lot of people and makes them think that it's good, but it's not. All right, so here we go. So adventures. So this is the card for the collective. Adventures. So wait, I want you to see it. Wait, let me see. Okay, here. I don't want to. Okay, look at how pretty. This is one of the reasons why I love these cards because they're beautiful. Look at that waterfall with the beautiful tropical birds, Mother Earth, right? So adventures. Adventures in nature, adventures in discovering who you truly want to be, adventures in connecting with yourself and with the earth. This is a time, 2021, a time for adventures. Thinking out of the box, thinking out of the norm that you would think, right? Because we've had to be so creative with our time, so creative with our energies. So it's time to put that into action. Remember, I talked about 2020 and before that being kind of your training camp. Now it's time to put this into action. So adventures don't it's a beautiful card, but as we know with everything, there's good adventures and then there in spiritual growth, in any kind of growth, there's good adventures that are beautiful and quaint, and then there's adventures that aren't so beautiful and quaint, and that challenge us and that push us to think, to evolve, to stretch, to challenge ourselves. So there will be adventures coming up for you. It's how you view them that makes the difference, right? So even if it's an adventure that's heavy and intense, what is it that you get from it? What is it that you're learning from it? We can learn from the wonderful adventures, right? From that beautiful tropical place with the beautiful tropical birds. But even a beautiful tropical place can give us challenges, right? Because we may not know the terrain, or it may get muddy, and we may not be used to the weather, or there's mosquitoes, or whatever it is. It's taking that as a learning tool for yourself. Don't be afraid to take these adventures. Don't be afraid to go into the uncomfortable zones because it is necessary for us to be stronger and better and to really find our way back to yourself inside, but find our way back to our soul families. This is a time of reconnection, everyone. This is a time where we need to be together the most. Even though we're separate physically, this is a time when we need to be the most together energetically and spiritually and helping each other out and being kind and caring and loving to ourselves and to others. So I'm looking forward to an enjoyable and an interesting 2021. I'm not wearing my rose-colored glasses, but I am definitely excited about what's to come. And I hope that you guys decide to join me on this adventure to come join my group, Divine Rebel Sisterhood. Come into the Step into Greatness with myself and Liz Sorelli. It is going to be amazing. Like, this shared space between women is just beyond transformational, beyond revolutionary. And if you've never been in a space like that, come and join us, because it is going to be what you need, especially early on in 2020, when, we think 2021, sorry. Let me let go of 2020. But when we think it's going to be a smooth sail, and it oftentimes is not. So come and get support from beautiful women just like you, and do the soul inquiry, and look for all the other stuff that I have coming out. So right now, my group, Divine Rebel Sisterhood, is just for women, but maybe soon it will be open to men who are open to touching upon their divine feminine and balancing the masculine. So, and if so there's more to come. So that the membership will definitely be open to men and women, but that's not until later on in the year. So look for what's going on, guys, and join my group and join Stepping into Greatness, starting on January 29th. And I hope to see you everywhere with me. Love you guys so much. To a great 2021 together. All right. Have a good night. Mwah. Bye.